Hola a todos, welcome to CSVS Learning. I'm Chanel and we are going to look at a CSEC Spanish paper 1 today. All right, so in this series we are looking at paper 1 for the Spanish exam. However, we're specifically looking at the part A section, which is listening comprehension. Now, if you are totally new to this and you did not know, the multiple choice paper for all mother languages, which under CXE would be Spanish, French, and Portuguese, they all are separated into two parts. So part A, listening, and part B is going to be reading comprehension section. Now, as it's separated into two parts, it really just covers the different profiles, more or less, right? So part A covers the listening profile for the exam, okay? Now, the reason why we are looking at just listening is we want to have a very focused approach and to understand how to tackle listening, what comes to listening, and prepare yourself for that portion of the exam, right? This is a portion of the exam that is guided because a teacher has to be there to actually conduct the exam. Why? Because the teacher has to actually say sentences, very short paragraphs, or even passages that are in the actual target language. When I say target language, I mean either Spanish, French, or Portuguese. No, I just do Spanish, all right? But in case you're doing the other languages, the same concept applies, all right? So if you want any other information about that, I spoke to it at length in the episode that covered June 2019. Now we are going to get straight into it. All right. So we're going to look at it 2018 as much as possible. Now, each section, there are 4 sections, they are done in a particular way. I am actually kind of modifying the process just for the purposes of this video because we are going to really focus on the instructional side of it. Right? I mean, at the end of this, I hope you understand me, okay? Wonderful. So we're going to look at section A where we have these interestingly illustrated pictures. And for all these interestingly illustrated pictures, you are going to hear a single sentence and then you have to pick the best option. Wonderful. So let's begin. All right. So question 1. ¿Les gusta oír el cuento? Repeatsville. If you listen to 2019 first, we're in Repeatsville, right? Yeah. So 1 is going to be B, right? 1 is going to be B, all right? Right, 1 is going to be B. Les gusta oír el cuento. That means they like to hear the story. Yeah, muy bien. Good. So let's go to the next page. I'm making it big enough for you all to see. Good. So now we're looking at question number 2, where that is to try and look at all the interestingly illustrated scenes so that you're clear on what they have, clear on the elements for each scene, so that you can go ahead and just pick the correct answer. Because for this section, you're only going to hear the sentence that describes the scene or applies to the scene once. There are no repeats. Question 2. Siguen caminando a pesar de la lluvia. Siguen caminando a pesar de la lluvia. All right, so they continue walking. Let me get that right. So they continue walking in spite of the rain. Lovely, deep, beautiful. So you all see, you heard me repeat. I'm repeating just for your benefit because again, this is instructional. As I said, I probably not be following the exact format, but please be reminded for the actual exam, you're only gonna hear it once. Yeah, beautiful. So question 3, if you're really good, you already know what the answer for this is, right? Yeah, you probably do. So 3, el niño empuja el juguete. El niño empuja el juguete. And that's going to be C, right? That is the boy pushes the toy, right? The boy pushes the toy. Bueno, bueno. Number 4. La torta de la quinceañera es muy grande. La torta de la quinceañera es muy grande. All right, so this one is going to be B. Something really funny. I think nearly every student who does this counts all the candles. All right, so la torta de la quinceañera, it's the cake for the quinceañera. You should know quinceañera is something that's similar to like a sweet 16. It's a very extravagant celebration for when generally females and now males attain the age of 15, right? Um, so it's like a grand birthday party. Bueno, so this is the actual answer B. La torta de la quinceañera es muy grande. The cake for the quinceañera or the quinceañera cake is very big. Obviously, this is not 15 candles. This is a wedding cake and this is a dreidel for Hanukkah. Bueno, number 5. You all should probably know this. We just saw this in 2019. Yeah, we did. I believe this also appears in 2017. I could be wrong. I believe it also appears there. La mujer es modista. I already put my pointer there already, but la mujer es modista. The woman is a seamstress or she's a fashion designer. So 5 is going to be C. Yeah, wonderful. So let's look at our other options. So now we're looking at 6 to 8. So this section has 8 questions, so we're going to end off the section now, right? So number 6, la mujer está colgando la ropa. La mujer está colgando la ropa, right? And this is actually C. The woman is hanging up the clothes. The woman is hanging the clothes. But no. Number 7, los jóvenes se divierten jugando a los naipes. Los jóvenes se divierten jugando a los naipes. And that is A. Anyone probably got A. I don't know if you got it or not. But los jóvenes, the young people, the teens, yeah, got a boy and a girl, so los jóvenes still applies. Se divierten, they have fun, jugando a los naipes. They have fun playing cards. You could see that these are actual cards here. Yeah, so los naipes cards. And then 8, again another repeat. La pimienta negra les hace estornudar. Yeah, this one. Ooh, they changed the picture a little bit here, did it? Blur. I think it's blurred. That look weird. It doesn't look like they need. Oh wow. Anyway, CXE, interestingly illustrated picture, right? So either way, it is going to be B, and it's all correct. And hopefully you all got it correct as well. If you didn't, listen, you are learning right now, and you have a chance to understand what's going on, right? So section 2. It's a nice section. Again, I say it's nice because one, for your benefit, there are a lot of repeats. And we're gonna actually just practice it ahora mismo, right now, yeah? Bueno. Okay, so this section you're actually going to hear a sentence that's repeated twice. It's said twice. And not repeated twice, it's actually said twice. You say it once and there's a repeat button. So you get that repeated, and then the actual question they want answered that you are going to answer when you select an option, that's going to be repeated. That's only going to be said once. All right. So just like in the example, mamá, tengo muchísima sed. Mamá, tengo muchísima sed. ¿Qué quiere esta persona? And you answer. Bueno. So let's continue. Number 9. Llueve mucho y no veo bien la carretera. Llueve mucho y no veo bien la carretera. ¿Cómo debe conducir el chofer? Right? So this is actualmente going to be D. Con cuidado. ¿Por qué con cuidado? Right? Llueve mucho, it's raining a lot, y no veo bien la carretera. I can't see the road. ¿Cómo debe conducir el chofer? How must the chauffeur drive? Con cuidado. Right? Not con estilo, stylishly, or quickly, or with permission, but carefully, yeah? 10. Señor, ¿dónde se encuentra la oficina de correos? Señor, ¿dónde se encuentra la oficina de correos? Esta persona va a comprar, right? This is a really cool question. Well, when I say cool, this is I want to note because this is a new question. I have not really seen this come in this section before. ¿Me entiendes? So, repeat possibility, possibly kind of high, yeah? I agree. So, señor, ¿dónde se encuentra la oficina de correos? Sir, where can I find the post office? Esta persona va a comprar sellos. Sellos are stamps, all right? Not ice cream, shoes, or animals, but stamps. 11. El cielo está nublado. Parece que va a llover. El cielo está nublado. Parece que va a llover. ¿Qué tiempo hace? B. 11 is B. So, el cielo está nublado. The sky is cloudy. Or, yeah. Parece que va a llover. Seems that it's going to rain. ¿Qué tiempo hace? What kind of weather is there going to be? Right? So remember in Spanish, it's tiempo can also mean time, but tiempo can also be used for weather. Right? So when we're talking about weather, we're going to use tiempo, and you tend to use hacer. Right? So like in Trinidad, we tend to say it's making hot, so it's making cold, and that's almost like a Spanish translation. That's literally what they say. It's making bad weather. Okay? Really funny, right? Okay. So number 12. Carlos, ¿por qué no hiciste tus deberes? Carlos, ¿por qué no hiciste tus deberes? ¿Dónde está Carlos? So, Carlos es en la clase. Está en la clase, lo siento. Carlos, ¿por qué no hiciste tus deberes? Carlos, why didn't you do your homework? Hiciste, so that's present, right? Present, polite, not polite, lo siento. The two form, right? Which is familiar, so one person, you good? Okay, hopefully you got that. So, Carlos, ¿por qué no hiciste tus deberes? ¿Dónde está Carlos? Where's Carlos? Carlos está en la escuela. Muy bien. 13. La chica tiene que guardar cama. La chica tiene que guardar cama. ¿Cómo está? Right? Ella está enferma. La chica tiene que guardar cama. The girl has to stay in bed. How is she? She is sick. She's really sick, right? 14. Todo el mundo está sentado a la mesa a punto de comer. Todo el mundo está sentado a la mesa a punto de comer. ¿Qué dice la madre? La madre dice, buen provecho, right? Because everyone is sitting at the table and they're about to eat. Before she eats, she tells everyone enjoy the meal, and that is what buen provecho means. It's basically an expression, a Spanish expression. Enjoy your meal, enjoy the food, have fun, eat it. Yeah. Number 15. Necesito estudiar para un examen. Necesito estudiar para un examen. ¿A dónde va este alumno? Right? Where is this person going? This person going to la biblioteca. Why a biblioteca? I need to study for the exam. Necesito estudiar para un examen. ¿A dónde va este alumno? Where is this person going to? A library. You go to a library to study, right? You go to a bookshop to study. I would go just to buy all these books once I got enough money to buy a book and place to put them. Yeah, but not to study. Almacén is like I think it's a storehouse or warehouse, right? That's what an almacén is. All right, so we know what an almacén is, and una safteria is like a tailor shop or a seamstress's shop, right? That word seamstress sounds so weird now, doesn't it? 16 is okay, so there's an actual error in 16, so I'm going to say it properly. I'm not going to say the error, and then I'll explain what the error is here, right? Camarero, la cuenta, por favor. Camarero, la cuenta, por favor. Este cliente quiere, right? So we've heard something like this already. So salir del restaurante. The error in this, the error in this is that the actual teacher script had camarena, la cuenta, por favor. Camarena no es una palabra, unless it's somebody name, that name. You know, it should be camarero, camarera. Camarero is waiter, camarera is waitress. So, oops. CXC. Bueno. So we're done with the section. So hopefully you got everything correct. Again, if you did not get everything correct, you are now aware of what the options are. Bueno, buenísimo. Great. So we are going to look at another section. We are going to move on to section 3. Okay, so this is what section 3 looks like on your copy. All right, this section deals with the announcements. Bueno, they're very short paragraphs. So the first selection, you have 3 questions. You're only going to deal with these questions are only going to apply to that first selection or announcement. The second selection will contain the answers for questions 20, 21, 22. So there's no mix-up in these. When you're listening to selection 1, just please focus on these 3, 17 to 19. When you're listening to selection 2, just focus on 20 to 22. Yeah, muy bien. Another thing, as a reminder, this section, the selections are read twice. The first time is normal, second time is slower, and you then are asked each question. The questions are in Espanol. Why not? So you've got to understand the question as well. You have to understand the question that's being asked. It's very key. Why not? So I'm going to read the first selection. I call this section La Tempestad. I call the section La Tempestad. The second selection, I actually call it what do I call it? Prison Break. I call it Prison Break. Bueno. So, first selection. Aviso importante. Acabamos de recibir información de que se está acercando una tempestad fuerte. Llegará mañana aproximadamente a las 12 horas. Estará acompañada de vientos con una velocidad de 150 kilómetros por hora. Habrá lluvias torrenciales, truenos y relámpagos. So I'm going to read it again. I'm going to read it a lot slower. Bueno. Aviso importante. Acabamos de recibir información de que se está acercando una tempestad fuerte. Llegará mañana aproximadamente a las 12 horas. Estará acompañada de vientos con una velocidad de 150 kilómetros por hora. Habrá lluvias torrenciales, truenos y relámpagos. Good, so I'm going to ask you questions now. These questions, again, are in Spanish. They will not be repeated in the actual exam. So you're going to just hear the question once. You have 15 seconds to put down your response. Bueno, buenísimo. Question 17. ¿De qué trata el aviso? ¿De qué trata el aviso? 18. ¿A qué hora va a llegar? ¿A qué hora va a llegar? Question 19. ¿Qué tiempo va a hacer? ¿Qué tiempo va a hacer? Okay, great. So you'll notice that I repeated there. Again, I did it for your benefit. This is an instructional session. This is not exam conditions. All right, especially if you've never heard these phrases before and you don't hear a lot of Spanish. Again, for your benefit. So let's go back to the question. So question 17, ¿de qué trata el aviso? ¿De qué trata el aviso? What is this announcement about? All right, it is about a storm, una tormenta. Right, the word tormenta is another word for storm. So tempestad, tormenta, they all storms, right? Not a sail, not an epidemic, not an accident. 18, ¿a qué hora va a llegar? What time is it going to get here? This is something that confuses students. So the actual line, again, I'll translate it in a bit, but students actually hear the 12 and they get mixed up with the mediodía and the medianoche. But it says llegará mañana aproximadamente a las 12 horas at midday, right? A las 12 horas is at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock in the day is midday, a mediodía. Bueno, 19. ¿Qué tiempo va a hacer? ¿Qué tiempo va a hacer? With a storm, so what kind of weather are going to have? We'll have bad weather. Mal tiempo, right? So 19 is actually 8. You're going to have mal tiempo. Bueno. So I'm going to read it again and I'm going to translate it for you. Bueno. Aviso importante. Important announcement. Acabamos de recibir información. We've just received information de que se está acercando, that there is approaching, una tempestad fuerte. A strong storm, right? So we've received information that a strong storm is approaching. Llegará mañana aproximadamente a las 12 horas. It's going to arrive tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Estará acompañada de vientos. This will be accompanied by winds con una velocidad, with a velocity de 150 kilómetros por hora, with a velocity of 150 kilometers per hour. Bueno, buenísimo. Habrá lluvias torrenciales, there will be torrential rainfall, truenos, thunder, y relámpagos, lightning. I love that word, relámpagos. It's so fuerte. Good. So that is that section. So now we're going to the second selection, prison break. I just call it prison break. I have a little problem with this section, which I will explain, and I'll explain your best options. Again, ultimately, at the end of the day, when you get to the exam, whatever option you pick is your decision. Why not? Why not? So here we go. Second selection. Atención radio oyentes. Hoy, a eso de la 1 de la madrugada, se escapó un prisionero de la cárcel Los Lobos. Fue encarcelado por el asalto del Banco Nacional hace un año. Tiene una cicatriz distintiva en la frente. Este hombre está armado y se le considera muy peligroso. Se recompensará al que dé informes acerca de su paradero actual. If you could, if you understood that, you understood it. I'm going to read it again. Bueno. All right, don't forget I'm going to translate at the end as well. Bueno. Bueno. Atención radio oyentes. Hoy, a eso de la 1 de la madrugada, se escapó un prisionero de la cárcel Los Lobos. Fue encarcelado por el asalto del Banco Nacional hace un año. Tiene una cicatriz distintiva, lo siento, tiene una cicatriz distintiva en la frente. Este hombre está armado y se le considera muy peligroso. Se recompensará al que dé informes acerca de su paradero actual. Bueno. So question 20. ¿Cuándo huyó el prisionero? ¿Cuándo huyó el prisionero? Question 21. ¿Qué tipo de crimen cometió? ¿Qué tipo de crimen cometió? Cometió. I think I pronounced it. I cannot stress that wrong. Lo siento. ¿Qué tipo de crimen cometió? Question 22. ¿Cómo se considera el fugitivo? ¿Cómo se considera al fugitivo? Good. So let's go back to 20, right? I have a problem with this question. I'm going to explain it. You make your choice, right? So, actually, you know what? For this to make sense, let me translate it first, and then you understand what I'm going to say, right? So let me translate this section, and then we'll go back to the questions and I'll explain. Bueno, lo siento. So attention radio oyentes, attention radio listeners. Hoy a eso de la 1 de la madrugada, today at about 1 in the morning, se escapó a prisoner escape de la cárcel Los Lobos, from Wolf Prison. Yes, the prison named Wolf Prison. I'm not sure why. Fue encarcelado por el asalto del Banco Nacional. He was incarcerated for his assault on the National Bank, like money heist, right? Money heist. Casa de papel in español, it's a Spanish word. It's good. So fue encarcelado por el asalto del Banco Nacional hace un año, so about a year ago he was incarcerated. Tiene una cicatriz distintiva en la frente. He has a very distinctive scar, the word cicatriz, the scar, on his forehead, la frente, forehead. Este hombre está armado. This man is armed, which means he's got a gun, right? Y se le considera muy peligroso, and he's considered to be dangerous. Se recompensará al que dé informes acerca de su paradero actual. So we will reward anyone who gives information about his actual location. Bueno, buenísimo. So let's go back to the question. So, ¿cuándo huyó el prisionero? When did this prisoner escape? Now, when I actually did this yesterday with some students live, a lot of people said, esta mañana. Most people say esta mañana. Now, my issue with this question is 1 in the morning is not really this morning. Sometimes. I know it's going to sound weird. But for me, I would personally put anoche because 1 in the morning is still nighttime, right? So again, for this, I think most people put C, and the fact that this question keeps coming back without a change. Once I see a change happen over the years, I know CSEC realized that something was not clear, right? So once I see that they haven't made a change, I suspect, again, I'm not a verified, I don't have verified answers from CSEC. People be looking for verified answers when CSEC doesn't release it. I highly suspect that the answer CSEC prefers for this is C. However, I also understand that people don't realize when they listen to this passage that madrugada is 1 in the morning during nighttime. A lot of people, when we did this yesterday, thought it was daybreak and dawn, which is not 1 in the morning. All right, at least on this side of the world, right? It's pitch dark 1 in the morning, right? So I would prefer A. A lot of people put C. Possibly the answer is C. I like to go with my guts. I would put A. That's me. I would continue to put A, but a lot of people do put C. All right, so this one, I consider it open. It's definitely not B or D, so they would put that. If you have to make a decision, go with A or C. Bueno, like I said, the decision you put is up to you. 21, ¿qué tipo de crimen cometió? I feel like I'm pronouncing that word wrong. What type of crime did he commit? It was un robo. It was un robo. So for 21, it's going to be A, un robo. Robo is robbery, fraude is fraud, asesinato, murder, and violación is rape. All right, so he did A. He didn't do anything else that we know of thus far. And 22, ¿cómo se considera fugitivo? How do they consider him to be? They consider him to be peligroso. Un hombre peligroso, right? Not inoffensive, not proud, not humble. Bueno, excellent. So now we are going to the very next section, the last section, which is the reading comprehension. Well, no, I'm saying it's the reading comprehension, but it's a passage, right? It's a long passage, section 4. It's another section that repeats. Yeah. Okay, so we are looking at section 4. Section 4 is the long passage. If you've listened to the 2019 recording, you would have heard all my advice and my concern about this particular section. I can't remember if I have it in the 2017 recording as well. But you do want to make sure you pay attention to the section and that you're alert and attentive, because it's a kind of long section in the way it's conducted. All right. What I'm going to do is, well, you're seeing here the questions are in English. So you see the questions that you'd see would be in English, titles in English, you see part A, part B. Each part has 4 questions. The reading for part A, or the paragraph that's read for part A, literally all the questions you see on the part A can be, the responses are found in that reading. All right. When you're listening to part B and it's being read, all the answers for these questions under part B are found in that particular section. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to read it without you hearing anything. Again, I'm not following the actual exam order. If I follow the actual exam process, we'd be here for 17 minutes. Completely unnecessary, right? What I'm going to do is read part A, then read part B, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like and translate it for you live here. Bueno, lovely. Good. Glad you appreciate it. So, interestingly enough, just looking at CSEC's typos, because I like pointing them out. I know. CSEC calls this midnight noises on the teacher script. I think they forgot to change the name on the teacher script because they copied and pasted. But they seem to have changed it to Julia's surprise for whatever reason in the students. I don't know why. Okay, so I'm going to read part A. Eran las 11:30 cuando Julia se acostó. Estaba sola en casa porque su marido, Ricardo, estaba de viaje de negocios en el extranjero. De repente, oyó ruidos extraños y tuvo miedo. Los ruidos parecían venir de la puerta trasera. Julia se preocupó mucho porque no podía recordar si había cerrado la puerta con llave antes de acostarse. Pensó en los robos que habían ocurrido en su vecindario y, sin vacilar, Julia fue al teléfono para llamar a la policía. Okay, that's the end of part A. I'm now going to read part B. Part B. En voz baja, ella le informó a la policía que había un ladrón que trataba de entrar en su casa y le pidió que viniera rápidamente. Se armó con un bate y se colocó detrás de la puerta cuando oyó ladrar a su perrito. ¿Qué le habría pasado a mi pobre perrito?, se preguntó Julia. Sin pensar en el peligro, abrió la puerta y, ¡qué sorpresa recibió! En vez de un ladrón, ella vio a su perrito rodeado de los perros feroces del vecino. End of part B. All right? So ultimately, in the actual reading, the actual exam, you hear this about 3 times. You hear about 3 times, right? So let me show you what it looks like, and we're going to translate. I also read it a little bit faster than I should because of time, but I'm going to read it a little slower now as I am translating for you. But no, really. Part A. Eran las 11:30 cuando Julia se acostó. It was about 11:30 when Julia was going to bed. When Julia went to bed. Estaba sola en casa porque su marido, she was alone at home because her husband, Ricardo, was on a business trip overseas, en el extranjero. ¿Ya? De repente, suddenly, oyó ruidos extraños, she heard strange noises, y tuvo miedo, and she was scared. Los ruidos parecían venir de la puerta trasera. The noises seemed to come from the back door. Puerta trasera is back door. Julia se preocupó. So Julia was worried porque she was very worried. Julia se preocupó mucho porque no podía recordar because she couldn't remember si había cerrado, if she had closed, la puerta con llave, well, if she had locked, if she had cerrado con la llave, if she had locked the door antes de acostarse, before going to bed. Pensó en los robos que habían ocurrido en su vecindario. She thought about all the robberies that had occurred in her neighborhood. Y sin vacilar, without hesitating, Julia fue al teléfono. She went to the telephone para llamar a la policía, to call the police. She's not playing. She heard noise. She's home by herself. Her husband not there. She is going to call the police, right? Nice. Part B. En voz baja, in a very quiet voice, ella le informó a la policía. She told the police que había un ladrón que trataba de entrar en su casa. That there was a thief that was trying to enter her house. Y le pidió, and she asked them to come quickly, que viniera rápidamente. Viniera his imperfect subjunctive. Bueno, sí. Se armó con un bate. I'm just talking about. So Julia also not playing a lot, right? Julia gets a bat. Se armó con un bate y se colocó detrás de la puerta. And she placed herself behind the door. Cuando oyó ladrar a su perrito. So when she heard her little dog bark, right? ¿Qué le habrá pasado a mi pobre perrito? So what could be happening to my poor little dog? Se preguntó Julia, wondered Julia. Sin pensar en el peligro, without thinking about the danger, abrió la puerta, she opened the door, y qué sorpresa recibió. What a surprise she received. En vez de un ladrón, instead of a thief, ella vio a su perrito, she saw her little dog, rodeado de los perros feroces del vecino, surrounded by the ferocious dogs of the neighborhood. Okay, so now we can go back and we can get the answers. ¿No? Sí, por supuesto. So, 23, what was Julia's husband? The gentleman was away on business, right? He was away on business. Nice. 24. Why did Julia think there was a problem? She thought there was a problem because she heard strange noises, right? If you didn't see that part, she heard strange noise. Okay, see my annotation, don't worry about that. But she heard, de repente oyó ruidos extraños, and she was scared. Tuvo miedo, ¿no? Exactamente. Right. Now, what concerned Julia about the back door? She might not have locked the back door. Big problem, right? Home alone, back door not locked, very serious. 26, what had happened recently? There had been robberies in the neighborhood. That's what happened recently, right? So she was concerned about the robbery. She's worried that there was a thief in the house, so that's why she said that. She told the police that there is a thief in the house, right? What information did Julia give to the police? And again, you get it, that a thief was trying to break into the home, right? So she didn't even say the thief was out. She said the thief was trying to break in because she heard the noise at the back door. So she suspected that they were attempting to get in, right? 28. Where did Julia position herself? She positioned herself behind the door, right? And let me show you that part. Se colocó detrás de la puerta. Bueno, buenísimo. Good. And then 29. What did Julia do when she heard of dog bark? She immediately opened the door to figure out what's happening to her perrito. She's very concerned about her perrito, no? And then 30, Julia would have to explain to police that she had been mistaken because it's not a thief. Nobody's trying to break in. It seems maybe all the dogs were playing. I don't know. The ending sounds kind of crazy. I'd be concerned if my little dog was surrounded by the ferocious dogs of my village. I probably want to call somebody. But yes, so these are the answers. So now we have completed June 2018 for the listening comprehension. Amen. All right. So again, I hope this was very helpful to you. If you have any comments, you can please place them down below. If you want more updates, you can just subscribe to the channel so you can get updates directly because it's on YouTube, right? Everyone's got YouTube, right? So that is it. Again, suerte en tus exámenes and keep studying effectively and keep practicing el español. Ciao.